Hey everyone, I'm James Foster, and welcome to the very first episode of Bruxer TV. It's going to be a 5-day-a-week show where we talk about nothing but what's going on in MMA. So I apologize if the lighting's a little funny today, still getting things worked out, but I've still got some really great stuff for you, okay? So let's jump right into it. First things first, Jon Jones to DC Dan Cormier. Shut up and do it. DC has been talking about how he's just been calling people out. I mean, frankly, it started with Frank Mir, and he got that fight when he came over to the UFC from Strikeforce. Dana White said, "All right, we'll give you the fight." So he's gonna be fighting Frank Mir, and he's already calling out Jon Jones. Not even in the same weight class, but he's calling out Jon Jones, and Jones is just saying, "Fine, man, cut the weight, let's do it." But, personally, I don't think he even necessarily deserves the shot until after he fights Frank Mir. If he can get through Frank Mir, and it's very possible that he can, especially if this stays standing up. Frank Mir, great submission, great ground and pound. DC, amazing stand-up. I like to think of him as kind of a black Fedor. It's ridiculous. Knockout, knockout, knockout. Bigfoot, knockout. Everybody I've seen, knockout. Awesome. So, he does that. If he can beat Mir, I say he deserves a shot with Jon Jones as long as he can cut the weight. Let's see, what do we got next here? Rowdy Ronda Rousey. She's been talked about constantly since she became the UFC champion. One, just for it being the women's division. Also, she's being a little controversial. I mean, first she was bagging on GSP. Who bags on GSP? The guy is an amazing fighter, and if you don't think so, I don't know what's wrong with you. GSP is a great fighter, and apparently Ronda seems to think the only reason anyone likes him is because he's good-looking and Canadian. Well, I gotta say, I'm straight, so the good-looking doesn't matter, and even though I am in Minnesota, which is close to Canada, I'm still an American, so that doesn't really cut it with me. But actually, what's going on with her right now is her tweet that she sent out about the Sandy Hook. She sent out a tweet to a video, and the video basically said that it was a government conspiracy. Really? Really? That's just ridiculous. And I mean, I get it that it's her own opinion, and if she wants to maybe consider that as an option, that's fine. She has every right to do so. It's stupid, but she has every right to think that. But do you really need to send it out on Twitter? And I guess it's not even so bad that she sends it out on Twitter because people might be interested in knowing this. But it's the blogs. It was the MMA blogs that were talking about this, and they made it a very, very big deal. They had some good points. They had some good points about social media and this and that. But what it comes down to, in my opinion, Ronda just wants the attention. That's all it is. Alright, what do we got next here? Josh Barnett is back. Is he? In the UFC. He's on UFC.com, but nothing has been said about the guy. Dana White hasn't said that he's back. It isn't officially saying on UFC.com that he's back. It's now just got a picture of him and his fight record on it. Probably a pretty good indicator that he is back in the UFC, but I'd be really hard pressed to find out that they're actually paying him his $250,000 a fight retainer contract, that's what he wanted. Gotta think it's gonna be a little smaller than that. But he is a great fighter, and if he is back in the UFC, I am certainly excited to see him fight again in the octagon. Last but not least, we're going to start this off with a nice small episode. Bisping says Belfort crumbles under pressure. Now, Bisping's a good fighter. I'll give him that. But that is flippin' ridiculous. Belfort is a great fighter. Yes, he lost to Jones. Yes, he lost to Anderson Silva. But so has everyone else. Those two are phenomenal fighters. When he fought not Frank Mir. Who was I going to say here? Rich Franklin. Yeah, that was a great fight. Beat him. He had a TKO. TKO'd Franklin. That was back on UFC 103. That's why I was struggling a little bit to remember exactly what happened. So it was a while ago, but it was awesome. Who else has he bought? Let me pull it up here. He has also bought, most recently, before his loss to Jon Jones, Anthony Johnson. That was in UFC 142. Another great fight. Beat Johnson, submission, rear naked choke. That was so much fun to watch. Alright guys, this is Bruxer TV. Thank you for watching. This is the very first episode. I promise you, it can only get better from here, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.